Let's be honest, parenting can be messy and hard, but also so rewarding. In this podcast, we'll share all the ups and downs of parenthood, as well as share some of our favorite tips and tricks for parenting using both our experiences and expertise from our professional lives as a speech and language pathologist and teacher, but also our everyday lives as moms, just trying to balance it all. We're so glad you could join us.
Hello, welcome to And Then We Had Kids. I'm Jenny.
And I'm Sheena.
And I was just talking to my mom actually today that the holidays are here. I swear it was just
Summer?
Halloween. Yeah, I
Fall?
swear I just had my daughter. She's almost 6 months old,
That's
which
insane.
is wild. Yeah.
Insane.
So I'm not sure what your plans are, specifically thinking about Thanksgiving. And I think even though that the time that this episode comes out, Thanksgiving will have passed, but we're hosting Thanksgiving this year, and we have for the past couple of years with my side of the family. So like a handful of my siblings, some aunts and uncles, cousins, nieces and nephews. That my house, since my kids have no school all week, does not look like anybody should be coming for a dinner tomorrow night.
Oh my gosh, mine looks like a tornado hit our house.
And and like I just I don't even know where the time is going to be. I think I'm going to be a mad woman tonight putting things away. I'm like scanning my room, and for people listening, my house is like super kid friendly. All of it. It like the whole first floor, every room is essentially a different area to play. Like anything is fair game. I have tons of bins, lots of toys. My basement is fair game for playing. I just feel like since I'm home with my kids, being contained in one room like drives me nuts. So we have,
Which is my reality, being in a
yeah,
small city condo.
be in a small space. So, well, you have a small space that has a lot. I have a bigger space that also has a lot. It just, you fill it up. But
Yes.
anyway, I have some nephews coming over tomorrow. And I'm like, and with my kids too, they just take everything out, the bins get dumped, and it's fine on most days. I have to I'm scanning around. I'm like, I need to put all the markers away.
Oh
I
my
need to put
gosh.
all the paint sticks away. Because my kids are actually
Your
surprisingly
kids are,
good about coloring materials and like where they
yeah,
go. I'm not too worried about my walls or
mine aren't.
yeah. Yes. I think you were over the other day actually, and I think I put away the paint sticks just because
That
I know
was smart.
I
Smart.
know you're a little guy.
Yeah.
And I was like, he and I'm talking to my kids are wondering like, why are we putting this away? Like, what's going on? They have free access to it all the time. And I was like, well, Sheenie's coming over and her boys, maybe they don't need the paint sticks out. And they're like, oh, okay. So now it's
Yeah.
like,
Because my youngest is like a budding graffiti artist. He has
I
graffitied all
love
of our
it.
dining chairs, our kitchen island, the walls in the hallway. Thank God for magic erasers.
I think I need some of that.
Like the
I have
Mr.
become some
Clean
like
magic erasers are my lifesaver.
I did tell you, I was like, if your son colors on my couch, I wouldn't be too mad because I want a new one. So I was also a little hopeful he'd find like a missing Sharpie of mine and just draw all over it while he was over.
Yeah,
So yes, I
that
had to
is
clean
his
up a
MO.
bunch of stuff. And then luckily too, I think hosting has kind of changed since what it once was, and that I'm not making everything. I'm making like a couple dishes. A lot of my parents are bringing the turkey. I got aunts and uncles bringing dessert. My sister's bringing appetite. Like we all have something. My other brother's like in charge of festive drinks.
Yeah,
So it feels like a lot and not too much, but
right. You divvy it up.
I will be up later than I would like this evening.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so it'll be good. But then it's wild. And then, my daughter's already like singing Christmas songs. My son's asking to go for walks to see holiday decorations. It is just, it's just here, which is great.
I mean, if you're in Chicago, 93.9 becomes the Christmas light or whatever, the holiday light 2 days after Halloween, I think.
Yeah,
It
I think
was
it's
this year. I feel like it
pretty.
gets it earlier every year.
Yes,
My
I
sister and some of my cousins um, are like devoted Holiday Light fans, and they are ready to go once it switches.
right after Halloween, I mean, they're good.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm all for like holiday music. I love it. I just because I have it on like basically from sunrise to sunset during like the holiday time, I'm been kind of put on parameters of not until a day after Thanksgiving, and then I have like the green light to do that. So
What about with like Christmas decorations? Are you one of those that waits till Thanksgiving to put the majority of them up? Are you like the earlier the better? I want to really just get in the festive mood as soon as possible.
great question. I feel like so much like I mean on Instagram now you see everybody like decorating like super early. In my mind is super early.
Right.
Because I'm hosting Thanksgiving, I have like some Thanksgiving decorations that I put out. I did put up when you were over, we put up like these little trees I got from Target, these like pre-lit ones, and those look great. Um,
Side note, I crushed through Jenny's honeydew list
oh, I'm
in lieu
still
of
talking
her
about
husband.
it. He's great. He's just been so busy that I've been wanting to do like a handful of things around my house. One being, oh, well, let me answer your first question and then we'll go back to this.
Okay.
I I feel like while I love Christmas decorations, I love them. I love the holiday season. I love it all. I think it's so magical. I'm so happy that I get to do that for my kids. And like I mean, my mom and my dad made it so magical for me and my siblings and still do. They're incredible that I I like to wait till after Thanksgiving. I think there's something about it for me that helps me feel like present in the moment and not feeling like I have to rush through anything.
Yeah.
Um, so I like to enjoy like Halloween to its fullest. It is my birthday, so I also love Halloween. And then since I've been hosting Thanksgiving for a few years, I've been pretty set on having like some Thanksgiving decor around. But then the day after, all systems
It
go.
all comes
Bring it
out.
all up.
Yeah.
We go get a tree on Friday. My husband did. It's been unseasonably warm here, like the Chicago area. So I did have my husband put up some lights on the outside of our house
Oh,
because
smart. Do it
historically
now.
it's been like cool. We waited and today is 12 degrees outside. But
Yep.
please, they need to be hung up, so please go outside. So I feel like we finally learned a little bit of a lesson. So those are up but not lit.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm like a day after a Thanksgiving person.
Yeah. I mean, I'm the same way. It's like usually the weekend after because we usually spend the weekend of Thanksgiving up at my family's lake house. We go up there, we do a dinner with my family on Friday night because we do it with my husband's on Thanksgiving Day, cut down our tree, come back, decorate.
And then decorate it. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
But going back to this honey-do list that you did crush, I've had
I
Sheena and I
did.
have both somehow won on different occasions this photo shoot in Paris from this woman that we follow, Rebecca Plotnick, who is everyday Parisian. If you love anything about Paris, check her out. She's incredible. Some beautiful artwork. We're actually going to highlight her in some of our small business Saturday places to check out on our blog. Um, so through her, we won photo shoots with our husbands, which they will talk about for years and years to come. So happy about it.
So thrilled, so blessed.
But anyway, I won my photo shoot and we did ours in 2022, summer
Yeah,
of
right
2022.
before, right, like butting up to my 40th birthday trip in Scotland.
Yeah, we got a beautiful canvas printed out that deserves to be placed somewhere in our home because it was not like one I printed off of Shutterfly. It was nice and pricey, but
Yeah,
beautiful. It had been sitting on top of my dog's crate since it arrived and until last weekend. So a
which,
long time coming that needed to be hung up in my house. Sheena hung it up. It looks lovely. I'm so happy.
and I think some of the motivation to hang it up is that I also won one of these photo shoot giveaways. And my husband and I did the photo shoot during our recent Paris trip in October for our anniversary. And, you know, again, it's an investment piece.
Oh, it's a one beautiful photos.
Beautiful,
Which
like
I actually
stunning.
I highly recommend if you're ever traveling with someone, like, and I would do like in the future, like a family photo shoot in this a location that you love.
Yes.
I'm actually like so glad we did it.
Well, and we've highlighted that photographer on our Friday feature series, Katie Donnelly Photography. And so she's an American who lives in Paris. Um, and you had warned me, you will love every single image. And you're right, I did.
Yeah.
So ours came, and I think within a couple days, my husband had hung it up. And so then I was like, well, ours is up. You have to have yours up. So I'm just going to do
Totally.
it.
You know
Where's your hammer and nail? Tell me
did
where
it.
you want it. I'll do it.
Oh, well, okay, here's the reality of recording is I'm at my parents' house because my mom was doing a holiday craft day. She used to be a preschool teacher. So my two oldest are downstairs doing craft, and I actually think that they left. They might have gone to the park, but my newborn is screaming in the other room. I'm gonna go grab her and bring her in so she's not screaming. Hold on.
Okay.
Sheena, while I'm gone, it's gonna be 2 seconds. Share a little bit about what your like travel plans are for the holidays coming up.
So, I mean, I think we're doing Thursday here in Chicago with my husband's side of the family, which will be fun. And then, like I said, we're going up to our lake house up in the northern woods of Wisconsin, which is beautiful. I was really kind of hoping that there would be snow in the forecast so that we could do some fun family Christmas photos outside with snow in the background, but that is just
Oh,
not the
that's
reality.
lovely.
It's not going to happen. There's not snow in the forecast,
Oh,
except for Sunday on our drive
when
home.
you're leaving. Yes.
But that's okay. I'm really excited. We got, excuse me, I got a couple new shirts we had checked out. Alice in Wonder is one of our favorite Chicago boutiques in the city, and they came out with a new kids store called Mini Wonder. So we went and checked it out, and I got the boys their Christmas sweatshirts this year. I feel like they'll get more use out of sweatshirts than they have the previous Christmas sweaters I've bought in the past. I think at one point there was a pretty large tantrum trying to get them into the sweatshirt in the
Yes.
sweaters. So I think the
Yes.
sweatshirts will be
They're super
a
cute.
bit more
I think you and
successful.
your husband need matching ones.
Well, I got a cute Old Navy sweater that's like similar
Oh,
colors to one of the boys'
yeah.
sweatshirts. So yeah, hello, sweet girl. No one can see you, but I can.
Oh, and
That's
there's
what's
a little teenager.
important.
If you hear any crying or burps or farts, it's hopefully my daughter, not either one of Sheena and I, but we could blame her if that's the case. Um,
This is motherhood.
yeah. So traveling, so you go to a place that is obviously your boys have been there, and we've talked about traveling with kids before. What is like a top, I don't know, piece of advice or helpful thing that you do, even after like you don't have babies anymore, but as your kids have gotten
Right.
older, what's been helpful for you, knowing that you're going to a place that is familiar to your boys?
Yeah, and I think I always have to prepare because it's not like a short journey. I mean, it's about a 4.5 to 5 hour drive from Chicago, which is the same as, I mean, there's some flights shorter than that.
Yeah, that's
Um,
okay. I
you
car
know,
rides are not my thing.
car ride,
With
well,
or without
especially
babies.
when you have got kids who are motion sickness prone.
Oh, I always
Um,
forget that about your kids.
yeah, so I actually do have a car sick like bucket in our car that we keep all of our like handy just tools if any of them get sick, right? So I have a roll of toilet paper in there. I actually have a collapsible beach bucket, which
Oh,
makes a great catcher of,
a puke if you need
for a
it.
lack of better word.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, they also make these like plastic vomit bags that I also carry in my purse sometimes. Um, I keep Dramamine in the car, water bottles, all that stuff. But in terms of preparing them, I think, it's making sure that they recognize we're going to be in the car for a while. I also do keep one of those portable potty seats in my car at all
Oh,
times, per recommendation from another friend of mine. He was like, if you don't have one of these, you have to get them. They're a life changer. You can pull over on the side of the road, even if there's no pit stop or restroom in the near vicinity. Just open it up outside or even in the back of the trunk. Let them go, do their business, and you're back on your way. That has been a life changer. Um, Having just a variety of toys, books in the car,
yeah.
um, always making sure that the iPads are charged. Now that they're getting older too, I'm trying to teach them to wear headphones, which is
Oh, that's
also
good.
really, really great because when you're taking your kids on a flight, it's just, common courtesy to your fellow passengers to not be having Bluey or Peppa Pig
Yeah.
blasting in the background, right?
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
we do some practicing of the headphones. They don't last the full car ride, but I feel like any bits of time I get is better than nothing.
Yeah.
Um, you got me those polka dot books where you like pop the little
Oh, yeah.
plastic bubble. Those
Yes.
are a big hit. And I like those because they're a little bit heavier and so they don't fly off their laps in the car
Yeah.
as easily. Do you know what I mean?
You.
So
Yeah.
yeah, just having a variety of toys and books. And also, I think part of just because this is what we do for work, I try to prep them for what to expect. Like, who's going
Mhm.
to be there? What are we going to do? What are we going to eat? Where are we sleeping? I
Yeah.
just think that the more that I can prepare them,
Right.
my hope is less tantrums.
That is always a good hope. Yeah, we're driving
Fingers
to,
crossed.
yeah, always fingers crossed the whole time. Um, we're going to my mother-in-law's house and she lives in Michigan. So not a 4 hour drive, but it's like a little under 2 hours, which is like for me, like I said, I'm not a big like car ride person. I'm always like, are we there yet? Are we there? Like how much longer? Let me look at Waze and see how much longer it is. Um, and this year, well, we've gone to Michigan once since my youngest daughter was born, and she is a mover in her sleep. Like she does like rolls, she spins a lot, like she just does not lie still. And so this year, for this trip, I rented a crib. I
Oh,
went through Baby Quip. Have you heard of them?
I
It's
have. I haven't had a chance to use them, but I have heard of them. And
I use them for oh hey,
oh,
that's
excuse
perfect.
you,
Excuse you,
Missy.
girlfriend. Um, I use them for all of our trips to like Florida or anywhere far away. I rent cribs, I've rented strollers. You can rent like anything. It's
Right.
incredible. It just helps with the amount of
Toys.
stuff you need to pack. Is my I have a pack and play and like it would probably be fine, but I feel like if there's so much out of our control as parents when we travel, that if there's anything that I feel like I can say I'm going to have a little bit more control over as much as I want to think that I can, it's
Yeah.
having a crib versus a pack and play to see if that will help her sleep a little bit while we're not at home.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, in our car rides, and I don't know how it works with you in your car, because I think that with only two, like your boys are in your middle row
Right.
of your car, whereas my eldest two are in the back. So last time we drove to Michigan, I'm like sitting up front with my husband, like it's kind of nice starting out. And then all the questions of like, can I have a snack? Can I have my iPad? Can I have my book? Can I have this?
You need a pulley system in your car so you can like drop the snack in a bucket, do the pulley system, send it to the back.
And so then it turned I like for the first like couple, I was like hopping back and forth and I'm like, this is not safe. I do not recommend this. And then I was like, sorry, babe, like I'm sitting in the middle row. And so
Yeah.
he just basically Ubered us all the way to Michigan. And we're gonna be doing the same this weekend. That I'm just like it's gotta be a little bit easier. So then yeah, I kind of think of like where everything is in my car, like where are the toys, where are the snack, what's
Yeah.
easily accessible,
Where's the
what
snack
I need.
bag?
Yeah. Um, and similarly to you, like I think with holidays, and I think your boys were the same, like where they had school off all week.
Yep,
Yeah. It's a lot of time home. And my
it
daughter
is.
has to be grown accustomed to like being quote unquote entertained, aka school. She's entertained by school. She loves
Yeah.
school. So now it's like at the end of the day, she'll come in my room as I'm trying to put the baby down, be like, Mom, can we go somewhere fun tomorrow? I want to have a fun day. I was like, did we not have fun today? And we roll through all the things that we've done. And it's just like, oh, the entertainment director has to think of something else. So it is a lot to have kids home that whole time. Um,
Especially with winter break coming up and they get even more time off.
yeah. And it's one where you like kind of just think that your kids should know that it is fun, like all these special things are happening. But what that means is like disrupted routines and
A lot
longer
of unstructured
hours.
times.
What's that?
I said a lot of unstructured
Yeah,
time.
like unstructured times, things are out of the ordinary that are special, but they're not part of like
Right.
a typical routine. So, and do our kids like there's just a higher likelihood from here until like the new year that we may see more tantrums or just like less flexibility in our kids. And
I think some of
even
that
as adults
too is
too. Like so
is the
it's a lot.
yeah, it's also the daylight savings time too, right? Like the it gets darker earlier and so they're thrown off with that and not as much light outside. My kids, I like that your mom does a craft day. My kids love crafts.
Yeah.
They don't always love cleaning it up, but I've taken what Lucy had suggested from Skip and Scoot in terms of like make turn it into a game, right? So that I'm like, okay, go find something that's green, or can you find something that's orange? And I have found, following Lucy's advice, that if I turn it into a game, they are much more likely to actually
Help with that
clean up
process.
their mess.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, so I think like you said, like it's a lot of unstructured time. It's gonna be at home, like, and I've been seeing more like the sibling stuff happen as like they're like they either love playing with each other or it's like you looked at me funny, which then it like leads to yelling at each other and getting into like these silly arguments where they're both like stuck and it's basically just like no, yes, no, yes, and like they don't even know what they're
Yeah.
arguing over anymore.
Yes.
Um, but yeah, I think just allowing ourselves as parents to have like a lot of like grace with ourselves and be like, okay, let me take a deep breath. Let me step away if I need to. Let me kind of
I
like
think
set the
it's
stage.
al-
What's going
also
on?
really easy during the holidays to take all of that extra free time that, now that they're not in school, or especially with winter break coming up, to fill it with all of these fun holiday activities, which is great. I think just with caution, try not to schedule too much and overdo it.
Mhm.
Um, it throws the kids off their schedule and then they'll get crabby because they're tired, and then you get crabby because they're
Yeah.
whining and crying. So I think as tempting as it is to like jam pack your day with all these fun holiday outings, um, do so with caution.
Yeah. And know on the flip side that if you schedule all these things, that it's okay that if like nap times may be slightly
Yeah.
disruptive. If that's okay with you, like if that's okay, then go for it. If you're like a person who like thrives on needing things set like a certain way for your kids, like setting boundaries with friends and families, that's okay too.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, I'm like, I think it's just like real. Like I said, it's just wild that it's this time of year.
It definitely flew by, and you always see those posts of like, I think someone said it's less than 30 days to Christmas, or right around 30 days to
Yeah, just
Christmas.
about. Yeah.
And now I have to do all of the shopping.
Ooh, I like that part. I like the shopping. I like the
I
wrapping. I like putting like those are things that I don't mind, but for other people, it's like another thing on their to-do list, right?
I don't mind
So,
shopping for myself.
well,
It's
I can
shopping
shop for
for
you
other
and you can
people.
shop for me.
Well, you're easy. It's the people in
I'm
my
just
life that are
kidding.
not
I
easy to
know.
shop for.
I know. So it is, but there's just I think I think it always just goes back to those days when we worked at an elementary school on days where we're like we're putting on a movie and it was supposed to be kind of those like easy afternoons, like let's just
Yeah.
cruise. It's Friday afternoon. We only have like an hour left of school. Like everybody enjoy. Like this is great. And I swear that was when we had the most meltdowns from kids, like oftentimes during those movie times or those lesson structure times or like parties or things
Yep.
that were not of the typical schedule. It was like, okay, just brace yourself. Like it's going to be great for
Reset,
some.
reset your expectations.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be great for some, less great and not so great. Like I feel like you're going to get the whole realm of responses. Um,
Yeah.
and I feel like it just goes, if you're finding yourself getting really frustrated during this holiday season, especially with your kids, like as you said, that they're being home more, I say like check out our episode about co-regulation. Just being able
Yes.
to recognize with yourself, like, are you feeling stressed as a parent? Are you feeling anxious? Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are you feeling annoyed, frustrated? Just like not being able to hang. What can you do to help yourself first? And then being able to help kids manage those emotions that they're probably feeling as well. They're just not going to be able to tell you, like, hey, mom, feeling really overwhelmed with the holidays this year. Like this is not going to happen. But
Right.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I say check out our co-regulation episode for sure.
We hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Don't forget to check out our blog post on some different sales that we're seeing for holiday shopping and whatnot. But again, we hope everyone has a wonderful holiday season. Thanks so much for listening. We hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you'd like to help support the podcast, please share it with others, post about it on social media, or leave a rating and review. To catch all of the latest, you can follow us on Instagram @_and then we had kids. Thanks again, and like we say, life used to be carefree, and then we had kids.